Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we're going to talk about Castlevania Season 1, Episode 3. It's called Labyrinth. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, we talked a lot in the last one about, he's got his quest, he's gone on his quest to find what we thought at the time was grandson, and so did he. He even points out when we find out it's a granddaughter, he even comments on how it's stupid that the speakers, don't use the proper pronouns when they're referring to themselves. The quest is actually quite quick. We actually, that's the opening scene, and then it's done. It's over. It's a pretty decent scene. He fights a Cyclops. It's a
Some
whole
cool
thing.
whip action again.
Some cool whip action with a knife at the end of the whip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed this episode a lot.
Oh yeah, I thought it was good. I did think again it had a really awkward ending.
Yeah, yeah,
It seems to be an ongoing thing with these. I mean, I'm assuming the next one won't because it's the end of the season and they know it's the break before.
I really hope so. Otherwise, that will. I can kind of forgive it here. I really think they were just thinking the 20 minutes. It's on Netflix. People are just going to watch it all in one go anyway.
Probably, yeah.
Which I mean, we criticize a lot of Netflix shows for doing that exact thing in terms of overall pacing. I'm kind of forgiving it here a little bit when there is only four and they are 20 minutes.
Most people will watch this in one go.
Yeah,
It just feels that way. So basically, it basically divides the episode into three chunks. There's the opening, which is the fight with the Cyclops. There's some cool stuff looking at this. So it's like a big church he's going into at the start. It looks quite cool.
yeah,
So we got that, and then he meets the granddaughter, Sifa. Sifa? What was Sifa? So he meets her, and sort of tries to convince her there's no great sleeping hero down here. You're wasting your time. In fact, later on, he reveals that the stories that have been passed down in his family indicates that what was down there was actually part of Dracula's castle, somehow
yeah.
under the sea.
Or if at least not his castle, he mentioned it was the same design, so it was presumably like a stronghold of Dracula's or something.
Yeah. That's it. We did see the castle move in the first episode, so it wouldn't even surprise me that much if part of it was under the sea, because why not?
Yeah,
But so he's been very reluctant, and he tries to leave after he's got the granddaughter back, and he gets jumped by a bunch of priests, like a lot of priests. It's an entire entourage of priests, but that he's taken to see the superior, who's basically this kind of power hungry. It's like, I find it really interesting how it's dealing with the church and religion in this series,
yeah,
because it's very much treating it like a dictatorship.
yeah. And to be fair, that's I mean, the church was like that in the. I mean, the church had its own army.
Oh no, I'm not saying it.
Like it was a power hungry organization for a long time.
I think what I mean is they're not shying away from that at all. It's just brutal.
No.
They're not even pretending that they're not like that. It's really
Yeah,
upfront. It's very blatant. It's very, we're right, we're in charge, and we'll murder whoever we want to. Because he wants to basically form a lynch mob to go and kill the speakers, which he comes to do. Because he believes, and that's what he's been telling the entire city, that they're the reason why these demons keep coming and pillaging the city at night. Of course, we know that is complete and utter bollocks.
that's the question though. Do you think he believes it, or do you think he just wants an excuse?
I'm not sure, because part of me thinks, like, if he doesn't believe it and he just wants the excuse, there's still going to be the danger come, sunset when the demons come. They're not going to
Yeah,
ignore him. So I don't know. I think he may be that devout, but again, I don't know. I think some of the most interesting religious figures are the ones who actually don't believe in any of it. They're just using it for their own gain.
yeah.
Like that often is the more interesting story. So I don't know. I don't know. But if that is the case, then what does he specifically have against the speakers?
That's a good question. And obviously, we know that he was there with the burning of the Dracula's wife back in the first episode.
He helped arrange it, even.
Yeah, he was the guy that we saw him speaking. I'm pretty sure at the end of that episode, he was one of those two or three people who were there.
Yeah.
So
So that basically, he basically tells Trevor that to get out, go, or we're going to kill you as well after sundown. So Trevor goes back to warn the speakers, and he's like, "Yeah, you promised you'd leave. You should leave." And they're like, "Nah, because honor and because we're here to try and save the people of this city, even if they don't want to be saved. And it's about what we believe in, and we're here to fight that." And that's when he brings up the underground looking like Dracula's castle, about how there's no hope, and that's when the elder speaker. Well, Trevor thinks he's been accused of being called a coward, but he's like, no, you just decided you lost. You've just been kind of running away because you think the battle's over. And it's all about trying to convince him that there is a battle still to fight, that he can still contribute. And it kind of plays it with a sort of mini kind of cliffhanger where you're not really sure which way he's went at the end of the scene, because he turns around, pulls out his knife and says, "You're leaving right now." And you think, oh, is he just... No, he's going to make them leave by force. In actual fact, he's making them hide down in the underground where he fought the Cyclops. And we'll see maybe where that goes next episode. Will he stays behind and starts to take on some priests? Not of course before taking off his fur cloak, revealing his full sort of family emblems.
Yeah,
his
it's the moment where he accepts being a hero, isn't it? It's where he goes, "No, I'm making this decision. I'm going to do this."
Yeah, to a point. I will criticise it a little bit. I don't really feel like I, at least yet, completely understand why he makes that choice.
No, that's fair.
I don't feel like I know the character well enough to sort of feel like they've earned him making that choice. I wonder if it would have helped. And again, maybe this is just a symptom of only having 4 20-minute episodes to do. Because I don't even feel like any of them have wasted time. All of them have been very brisk and tight and used their time well enough. It's just... it's a pretty good moment. I think it would be helped a lot by actually understanding maybe what into that choice beyond just the obvious, oh yeah, he just said, yeah, it's right and wrong, and like, because the speaker brings up his family history and how he should be fighting for this, and that's what we're like. We are honouring our own heritage, and
it feels like something that this moment should have come at least another few episodes down the road, where we'd got an idea of, these things rattle around his head, get a bit more idea of his family history, and how it, because we've got a sense of it in the wider world, but we don't really know what it means to him.
Yeah, we're not really inside his head yet, which is why this decision feels a bit premature, because we can't really feel the full effect of it. So that would be my main criticism of this episode, and probably my biggest criticism of the show so far, is that I feel like they're doing some beats with him where we're not really ready for them yet, and therefore it feels a little bit shallow.
It really feels like this first 4-episode season is going, right, we've set up our villain, Dracula, we've set up the world, and then by the end of these 4 episodes, we want Trevor to be our hero, in the place ready to be a hero. I feel there's just not enough time for that.
Because honestly, I thought I'd missed something. Like, see when he started giving his speech about how he's Trevor Belmont of the Belmont, house, and he makes his little speeches. He's standing there, like, I'm going to be defiant, I'm going to fight you. I'm like, did I miss something in the previous scene that caused this decision? And I actually went back and looked at it again to see if I'd missed any like little things that hinted at why he was making that choice. And there really wasn't, beyond him just kind of groaning at one or a couple of things that made him.
You have to just assume that the elder speaker's speech resonated with him.
Yeah, but that's the problem. The phrase you just said there, you have to assume. Yeah,
that is the problem. But it's the only explanation that works.
Yeah, so this doesn't feel earned, I guess, is ultimately what I'm saying. The demon's flying at the end is cool enough, but that's kind of our cliffhanger, as the demon just kind of flies towards the camera. As it were, it's animated, obviously, but same difference. It's
the first one that felt like the end of an episode, though. To me, that moment where, because you mentioned how the last one, where he walks out the door, and they didn't really play it like it was the end of an episode, even though that moment when you say it should be. This here with the demon flying towards us felt more like a close to me.
I guess it's the most like a regular episode ending.
Yeah.
It still felt awkward to me, though.
Yeah, okay.
There was something about it. It's just this weird pacing thing. It still didn't really feel like it ramped up. It felt like the scene was just about to keep going. It just cut to credits instead. As much as it did have the monster flying towards the camera, it just kind of felt like, oh, the monsters are coming in, and we've not had our big climax yet of the episode, so it still felt like there was still meant to be a a moment.
I don't know. I felt like the climax was, the fight and the big cross coming down. That's the climax there. And then this is what's still to come.
I think so far, like, I mean, I'm liking the show, but it is this weird thing where it doesn't feel like any of the end of the episodes actually feel like the end of the episodes. You're making a case for this one, and I agree that it's the most like a regular ending, but I still kind of felt like, no, I just cut to credits mid-scene.
No, I can understand that. It's still not perfect. Don't get me wrong. It's probably the biggest continuing problem with the show.
And again, it's really not that big I mean, we're sort of letting it have a pass because it's 4 20-minute episodes on
That's
Netflix that people are
If
going to
this
binge
was
through. So
if this was 10 episodes, even 20 minutes, I would have a much bigger problem with it. But when it's only 4, the whole thing's less than 2 hours.
And even then on Netflix, it's not as much. Like, see, if this was a weekly show and it ended like this every week, it'd be like, this is ridiculous. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
it's knowing that there's 4 there, you've got less than 2 hours, and you can just go through it all quite easily. That gets away with it. Whereas when we do the 13 episode seasons and we talk about the pacing issues that it has because they expect everyone to just binge it because it's on Netflix.
yeah.
That's a much bigger problem because a lot of people aren't going to sit there for 13 hours where they probably will for 1.5, 2.
Yeah, and even like season 2 with 8 episodes, I can still kind of forgive it because even that is less than 4 hours.
It is,
which is still
it's still within the realms of a relatively lengthy movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's still in the realm of a regular person's binge. Like, so even someone who's working till 5 p.m. say, come home, they still might binge 4 hours that night.
Yeah.
Whereas a 13-hour Marvel show, they're not getting through 13 hours of that in one night.
No.
It's just never going to happen. At the very least, they're spending a weekend on it.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, that one's a bit mute. My problem about Belmont's decision in this feeling a bit unearned is definitely my biggest problem with the show so far.
Yeah, in terms of plot and character motivations, it's certainly probably the only problem I really have. Because I've been enjoying it other than this.
Yeah, and I like everything it's setting up.
Yeah.
I like the Cyclops fight. I like that they're setting up there's more stuff under the city. And I like that the actual encounter with Dracula doesn't feel like it's going to be anytime soon. It feels like a far away. Like, he really feels like the final boss in a video game sort of term. So, no. And
I do think the animation's really solid. It's growing on me more. The more we see action, the more I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's got a kind of weird flow to it, but it is working for the show. It's I wouldn't say it's as smooth as some other stuff that I've seen, but I'm not sure if super smooth would work in this sense because of all the quick whip movement.
Yeah, it kind of flows nicely with the whip because it flows with the whip, and then the cuts are very quick and sudden, which again it kind of works with the whip.
Yeah, I wonder if that was like part of the decision process. They're like, all right, we really want to have the feel of this whip moving around, but if we do X kind of animation, it might not lend itself to that. So maybe they made some of those choices based on what the action was going to be.
I can see it, given that the whip is so synonymous with the series.
Oh yeah, like if your hero doesn't have a whip in Castlevania, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, it's not Castlevania anymore, is it?
No, you need Dracula and you need a whip.
It's pretty much all you need.
And I suppose a castle.
Yeah.
That's the castle, but. So yeah, some solid good moments in this episode. Just that one major complaint about his decision feeling a bit unearned, but there you go. That's Castlevania episode 3. So obviously there's one more. We'll be back with that tomorrow, most likely. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. You can head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv, and if you want to support the channel, you can do that over there. See some of the bonuses that are on offer. But otherwise, guys, that is us. So thank you very much once again for watching. Keep watching TV. Have you got any vanilla?